What if the sun, the source of all life, had an expiration date? What if scientists revealed that it was dying, not billions of years from now, but in just a few decades? What would you do if you knew that each sunrise could be one of the last? For centuries, the sun was a symbol of eternity. But now, it has become the clock of our extinction. The global scientific community is in collapse. Telescopes around the world confirm the same phenomenon. Nuclear fusion at the solar core is slowing down. Something is wrong, terribly wrong. Theories emerge. Some say it's a natural cycle. Others believe humanity has meddled too much with cosmic laws. There are even those who claim that the sun is being stolen by forces beyond our comprehension. What would happen to Earth without the sun's warmth? How long could we last before darkness consumes everything? And perhaps the most terrifying question of all, is there another sun capable of sheltering us before eternal night arrives? Prepare to witness the beginning of the end, and, perhaps, the birth of a new hope. This is the story of the last day of the sun. It all began subtly. Small variations in solar brightness, imperceptible changes in radiation patterns. At first, NASA and ESA classified them as temporary anomalies. But soon, the data made it clear. The sun was aging thousands of times faster than any model had ever predicted. The average temperature on Earth began to drop. Eternal winters appeared where deserts once existed. Entire ecosystems collapsed within years. Coastal cities were swallowed by ice. Farmers abandoned their crops. Humanity entered the age of twilight. Governments joined forces in an unprecedented project, the Helios program, created to understand and perhaps replace the sun. Billions were invested. Satellites were launched to capture fragments of residual energy, and massive orbital mirrors were positioned to reflect what little warmth remained. Meanwhile, a new race began, the search for a substitute star. Quantum telescopes scanned the galaxy for habitable systems. Some scientists believed we could ignite a new artificial sun. Others called it madness. Playing God has always come at a price. In this chaos, hope was born. Project Aurora, an attempt to recreate, in a laboratory, the heart of a star. For the first time, humanity no longer looked up at the sun as something distant in the sky, but as something that could and must be rebuilt. Year 2000 to 174, the sun no longer rises as it once did. Its light is pale, fragmented, reflected by thousands of orbital mirrors floating above the Earth like bright scars in the sky. Humanity survives beneath a golden, artificial sky, where every ray of light is controlled, rationed, and sold as a resource. Cities are now underground, built upon the ancient foundations of 21st century metropolises. Mirrored surfaces have replaced concrete, reflecting what little brightness still reaches them. Geothermal towers maintain habitable temperatures, while translucent domes imitate the solar cycle. Sunrise and sunset are merely projections on the ceiling of the world. On the avenues, drones hover silently, spreading ultraviolet light to prevent structures from freezing. Rivers have been replaced by streams of luminous plasma, heating residential zones and powering energy factories. Every street is a reminder of what we once were, creatures who lived under the natural glow of the sun. And outside, beyond the domes, eternal dusk reigns. The Earth's surface is a frozen desert, illuminated only by distant reflections. Some still climb to the surface, just to see for a few seconds the true sun, dying on the horizon like a candle about to burn out. But even in this world, almost devoid of light, something still burns: hope. Hope that somewhere in the cosmos, a new star is waiting to be born. At the heart of the underground cities beats the miracle that keeps humanity alive: the Aurora reactors, colossal spheres of energy attempting to imitate a star's fusion. Each one is an attempt to rekindle the impossible, to recreate the sun within the Earth. These reactors are controlled by artificial intelligences known as custodians, conscious systems created to maintain the planet's energy balance. They calculate, in nanoseconds, the consumption of each region, deciding who receives heat, who receives light, and who remains in darkness. Survival, now, is a matter of efficiency. Agriculture is sustained in subterranean hydroponic layers, illuminated by spectral lamps simulating the old sunlight. Natural winds have been replaced by regulated air currents, and the climate is entirely controlled by atmospheric algorithms. Nothing is left to chance. But there's a limit. The Aurora reactors, despite their power, are beginning to fail. Artificial fusion demands more energy than humanity can produce. The custodians warn, collapse is inevitable. And then, a proposal arises, the boldest of all. A group of scientists, exiled from the Solar Coalition, believe it's possible to move the Earth. To slowly push it, using planetary thrusters, toward a nearby star known only as Helion 3, a young yellow dwarf, still being born. It could be salvation, or humanity's final act of madness before the eternal night. Living beneath a dying sun changed everything, even what it means to be human. In the underground cities, routine is silent, almost ritualistic. Clocks still mark days and nights, but time has lost its meaning. Here, dawn is simply the moment when the domes light up. People live in biothermic habitats, structures that breathe, regulate temperature, and even change color based on their inhabitants' emotions. Walls whisper reminders, clothes automatically adapt to the cold, and food is synthesized by nutrient printers, remnants of an era when the sun did that work for us. Children learn in holographic classrooms that recreate Earth's lost surface. They know the sun only through images and legends, stories told by the elders, who still remember feeling its warmth on their skin. In the artificial plazas, there are statues made of light, representations of the sun in different phases, as if they were forgotten gods. But not everyone has adapted. Groups known as the Children of Aurora reject underground life. They believe that hiding is the true end and advocate returning to the surface, even if it means dying beneath the sun's final glow. Many disappeared in frozen storms trying to reach it. And yet, there is still love, art, and dreams. Even with the sun's death looming, humans continue to paint golden skies on the walls, as if, somehow, they could reignite hope with their own hands. The last day of the sun didn't arrive suddenly. It was foretold by centuries of silence, of choices, and of fear. Now, in the face of imminent collapse, humanity must confront the question it always avoided. Are we children of the light or apprentices of the dark? Project Aurora reaches its final phase. The stable fusion of a new sun, a man-made star, is attempted one last time. In a facility hidden beneath the Arctic Sea, the reactors ignite. For an instant, the entire planet holds its breath. And then, a burst of light tears across the frozen horizon. For eternal seconds, the Earth shines once more. But no one knows if that light is salvation or destruction. Perhaps the new sun will last a day, perhaps a millennium. Perhaps we have not created a star, but an echo of what we once were. As scientists record data and entire colonies gaze at the sky with tears in their eyes, one phrase echoes through the transmissions. Even if the sun dies, we will learn to light others. The impact is more than scientific, it's spiritual. For the first time, humanity understands that the sun was never just a star. It was a mirror of what we are, fleeting, burning, and yet stubbornly luminous. Because as long as there are those who dream of the impossible, the story of humanity will never be erased by darkness. Silence, the horizon, once shadowed, now pulses in golden and crimson tones, as if the universe itself had decided to grant Earth one last sunset. People emerge from the domes, one by one, to witness the impossible, the return of true light. There are no words, only faces bathed in a forgotten glow. Many weep, others laugh. Some simply close their eyes, trying to etch into their souls that feeling. The warmth, the wind, the distant hum of cities vibrating once more. High above, the new sun, fragile, uncertain, yet alive, rises. Its light isn't as strong as the old one, but it's enough to reignite something far more powerful, hope. The final transmission from Project Aurora echoes across the world. The sun did not die, it was reborn within us. And as the shadows retreat, a new era begins. Humanity has learned that no night is eternal. That even when the universe seems to give up, there will always be hands willing to rekindle the flame. The children of Aurora return from the ruins, the custodians fall silent, and the domes open for the first time in generations. The earth breathes, and in the sky, the new sun rises, small, yet enough, because the end was never the last day of the sun. It was only the first day of the light we chose to create.